Large parts of Beirut are in ruins tonight, and the people of Lebanon are attempting to assess the catastrophic damage and the rising human toll from a blast that shook the capital. So far, we know at least 100 people have been killed, including one Australian, with around 4,000 others injured. The scale of the explosion is just astonishing. Buildings were destroyed far from the port where the blast was centred, and the damage is up to 10 kilometres away, meaning the whole city was affected. The blast was even heard by people in Cyprus, 200 kilometres off the coast. It's devastating for a country already in the grips of an economic crisis. Middle East correspondent Eric Twarchek reports, and a warning: some viewers may find this story distressing.
The blast at the Lebanese capital's port struck with the force of an earthquake. What? People filming a warehouse fire were suddenly knocked off their feet by a massive explosion.
Is that a bomb? Oh my God! Oh my God!
Flashes were seen in the fire, then something much bigger ignited, sending up a mushroom cloud and pushing a blast wave across the city. This priest was in the middle of a service. Windows kilometres away from the site were blown out. Balconies collapsed.
What happened?
And on the streets, there was chaos. Several thousand people have been injured. A catastrophe for a country already in crisis. They streamed onto the streets, bleeding from glass cuts and worse.
I don't know what happened. I was fishing and I heard there was a fire. I started to head home. I heard something explode, and then this happened.
Downtown Beirut looked like a war zone. But the damage was spread across the city.
My car was down there. It rolled over. The glass cut me up. My car was like this.
Lebanese officials say the blast was caused by a fire at a warehouse where confiscated chemicals were stored. The Interior Minister said it was ammonium nitrate, used for fertiliser or explosives. Thousands of tonnes had been there since 2014. The damage to the port is huge. The governor at the scene said he was looking for a team of firefighters who disappeared in the explosion.
This scene reminds us of what happened in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. I haven't seen massive destruction in my life on this scale. This is a disaster. This is a national catastrophe.
Hospitals were overwhelmed and issued an urgent call for blood donations. Lebanon's in the middle of a financial and economic meltdown. Its currency's crashed and its people are struggling for their livelihoods amidst a pandemic. For many Lebanese, the country already seemed on the brink of collapse. Now its capital has been devastated.
And Eric Twarchek joins us now. Eric, we've just seen the incredible devastation caused by the blast. Do we know any more about the cause?
Well, Matt, the Lebanese government, multiple officials have said that the site of the explosion was a warehouse being used to store nearly 3,000 tonnes of ammonium nitrate that was confiscated from a ship in 2014. There's already blame being apportioned about the failure to deal with this highly explosive material for 6 years, left it sit all in one place. Tragically and ironically, it was taken off the ship for safety reasons. What's not clear is what started the fire, which ignited the major explosion, and Lebanon's government is promising a thorough investigation into that. But at the moment, this looks like tragic mismanagement.
And Eric, Lebanon was already struggling under the weight of a crippled economy, COVID-19 and food shortages. What's this going to mean for the country?
So as you've seen from the pictures, Beirut's main port is completely destroyed. It's going to be very, very difficult to get it operational again in a short time. And the country's main grain elevator is the building next to the site of the blast, and that's been destroyed as well. So there's concerns that in a month or so, Lebanon's going to run out of wheat. It's going to be difficult to import more wheat at a time when it was already struggling because of a currency crisis to get food into the country. The number of businesses and homes that have been destroyed by this blast as well means it's going to be really, really difficult for Lebanese at a time when they simply didn't have any cash to function, you know. And this is the fear, is that Lebanon was teetering on the edge of serious instability before. And now with this level of devastation, no one knows what's going to happen.
All right, Eric, thank you. Eric Twarchek. There are close connections between Lebanon and Australia, and one Australian has been killed in the explosion. The Prime Minister says about 20,000 Australians are normally in Lebanon at any time. The embassy in Beirut has been damaged, but all staff are safe. But some families here have struggled to contact relatives in the Lebanese capital.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
The magnitude of the explosion was just unbelievable.
Omar Jahir was at home when the blast ripped through his house in central Beirut.
I remember ending up on my balcony and running. I didn't have shoes on, and I just kept on stepping on glass, steel. My feet are sore and stitches.
The Australian is one of the lucky ones. All his family and friends are safe, but his home and his businesses, a cafe and a hotel, didn't stand a chance.
Of course, it's all destroyed. My house is destroyed. My wife's business is destroyed. We're trying to stay positive.
Many in Australia are still waiting for news of their loved ones. Madeline Fakuri is desperate to hear from her nieces and nephews in Beirut.
A lot of them are missing. A lot of them are still unknown for where they are, where their locations are. That's what we fear.
Bert Noah has been up since 4 o'clock this morning following the tragedy from Sydney. He was born and raised in Beirut, and his sisters still live there.
I knew it was the port, and our house is very close to the port. So you immediately think of the worst, and all you just want to do is you want to hear from them.
His family is safe, but the explosion has brought back painful memories of years of conflict in the country. The Lebanese community in Australia is rallying to support those impacted back home. Charities and religious groups are working to raise money as fast as possible to provide much-needed food, emergency repairs and shelter to families in Beirut.
Many people calling my office and calling me saying, we're ready to help. How can we help?
Most of the people lost their houses. Most of the people can't even find the food to eat. Most of the people sleeping in the street now.
Lebanon facing a difficult recovery, even as they grapple with economic hardship and political upheaval. Lydia Feng, ABC News.